Hanggang ngayon, nagsusubo ko gabi-gabi, Usec Bergere. So I do not believe what you're saying when you say not to try it because it's dangerous. No, it's not dangerous. You're stupid if you put your boiling water in your face.
Deputy Speaker Atienza, will you interpolate?
Yes, I'm here waiting for my turn, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. You may proceed.
Yes, I'd like to take the opportunity, Mr. Chairman, of clarifying certain issues which are bothering our people. We heard Congressman Mike Defensor very, very articulately explaining what he hears from our people. I also reflect what I hear from the people. At this point in time, I welcome the presence of Secretary Duque, who's a good friend of mine, and officials of the FDA. Although I'm quite disappointed that the chief of the FDA is again absent, Mr. Chairman. I was hoping he'd be around today para po naman maliwanagan na natin lahat ito mga bumabalot na issue na ang pagsususpecha ng tao ay lumalala. Pinag-uusapan na po ang inadequacy and maybe even incompetence of certain leaders of our medical sector and the Department of Health in particular, Madam Usec. Public office, especially in times of emergency, require quick reaction and action coming from those mandated by law to do the action. But so far, you're talking about months of exchanges and months of forced meetings, but you have not said anything about taking the initiative to find out ivermectin, is it effective or not? You know, non-practitioners like us, I also am guilty because I give ivermectin to a dying poor family. And you're telling me that that could even be against the law. I could charge you of really not performing your task. You are not following your mandate, and the rest of the DOH and FDA. When it comes to real issues, at this point in time, we have overwhelming evidences on the practicality of the use of ivermectin. I hope Secretary Duque is also affected in the same manner that I am. So I'd like to ask him one simple question. Secretary, my good friend, have you even bothered to talk to doctors who belong to the Concerned Doctors and Citizens Organization? Have you ever bothered to call for them and talk to them and listen to them? Because they talk a lot of sense. And if the Secretary of Health would listen, I'm sure a lot of these problems that we are discussing may be addressed effectively. Pinatawag na po ba ninyo, Secretary Duque, si Dr. Agbayani, si Dr. Landrito, at yung mga concerned doctors and citizens who are disagreeing with your public policies and your pronouncements on the raging problem of the COVID-19. Did you even bother to talk to these noted doctors? I'd like to clarify that, and I'd like to ask my good friend.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the DOH did have a meeting with them that was bridged by ARTA, DG Dalhica. So there was a meeting, but at that time I was not around. I wasn't available, and it was Usec Bergere who represented the DOH in that meeting. Maybe Usec Bergere can tell us more about what transpired in the meeting and the agreements.
Well, I would welcome the pronouncements of Usec Bergere in this matter, because all of this will be on record in our deliberations. Ano po ba na pag-usapan ninyo?
Usec Bergere.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon po, Congressman Atienza. Actually, it was facilitated by DG Bellica. So, if I may request po, si DG Bellica can give more accurate regarding answers to the proceedings during that time of the meeting, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I would not welcome that suggestion of the Usec. She's passing the buck. And that's exactly what I'm trying to pinpoint now. We've been passing the buck. We've been playing basketball on the emergency situation. And that is unacceptable. Kayo, as Usec, dahil kayo ang nag-report kay Secretary Duque, ano po ba ang inyong impression? Nagsisinungaling po ba si Dr. Bayani? Wala po bang basihan yung kanilang masidhing damdamin na humanap ng paraan para ma-address natin ang problema ng mahihirap sa COVID-19? Ano po ba impression ninyo? Don't pass me on to Director Belica because I'm one of the admirers of this young man who's trying his best to improve the system. Kayo na po ang sumagot doon sa aking mga tanong.
Yes, sir. Actually, that meeting was really called on by the ARTA, DG, and his team for us to clarify processes with regard to the regulatory processes when it comes to drugs or these new technologies. So FDA was also there. Sila Dr. Landrito, Dr. Agbayani, and the others were also there. So during that meeting, DG Belica facilitated the discussion so that the doctors can also be clarified. The first question was, what were the causes of delay in the approval for a clearance or authority to be used for this ivermectin that had been proposed. The second was clarification about the compounding in pharmacies. And then I don't know, I cannot remember, sir, the other discussions, but basically the discussions were focused mostly on regulatory processes for this specific drug.
So what you're saying, Dr. Usec, is that if not for the initiative of ARTA, you would not even have bothered to talk to people who are insisting and staking their professional integrity on the issue of the ivermectin. You would not have done it except for ARTA. Yun po ang sinasabi nyo. Kaya lang kayo nagpulong dahil nanawagan at tumawag ng pulong ang ARTA. Yun po ba ang sinabi niyo?
That's the fact, sir, that the DG Belica through ARTA called for the meeting. But if ever we would have been open naman po to sit down and discuss with the doctors.
So would you give us a direct answer now? A memo was read that you were ordering the stoppage of the use of vitamin C, zinc, and so many other affordable preventive supplements. You and Usec Vergere, I remember very clearly, you were discouraging the practice of suob. To remind my good friend Mike Defensor, hindi ko sinabing sukob. Sukob, yun yung kasal. Pero yung suob, yun yung inhalation.
Yes, sir.
Talaga po bang talaga po bang masama ang dulot nun? Mali pala mga Pilipino. Dahil ako'y bata pa ako, nagsusuob na ako eh. Hanggang ngayon, nagsusuob ako gabi-gabi. Usec Vergere. So I do not believe what you're saying when you say not to try it because it's dangerous. No, it's not dangerous. You're stupid if you put your boiling water in your face. But if you're careful, it helps you breathe properly and more easily at no cost to you and your family. And yung vitamin C with zinc is very, very affordable. So why would the Secretary Duque discourage that? Yung pong announcement ninyo ng isang meeting natin eh. That bothered me because sabi ko, teka muna, masyado na yata lumalala ito. We need to act in Congress to put everybody in order. So I go back to Usec Vergere. Have you met with Dr. Landrito and Dr. Agbayani about the issues involved in our discussion? It is of national interest that you are interested. These are not media reports. This is reality. Have you met with them?
No, sir, but we had exchanges of communication through letters because they were writing the Department of Health regarding their issues, and we responded to them through an official letter as well.
Kaya nga, okay, you exchange letters. I hope they're not love letters. Letters. Ano ho naging resulta ng mga letters na yun? Meron po ba?
The last time that we have responded to them, they did not answer back anymore, Mr. Chair and Congressman Atienza.
No, but what I'm pointing out, Mr. Chairman, is on the issue of ivermectin. Has there been any movement in your outlook, in your attitude over this issue? Based on your exchange of letters, based on your meeting forced upon you by ARTA, kung hindi pa tumawag ng meeting ang ARTA, hindi rin kayo tatawag. Hindi ba kayo nababahala na mayroong nagsasabing, mabuti ito, na-discover namin to. That doesn't affect you. It affects us. It convinces us. But you don't seem to even be interested in the issue. You're relying on the slow process of exchanging letters, on the meetings that I suspect you're making up, because sabi ng CDC sa akin ngayon, I just got a text message, there has never been a meeting between them and you, or much less Secretary Duque. So at this point in time, you are still dribbling the ball. Doktora, ang tanong ko po remains, have you called for Dr. Landrito, who is making a lot of public pronouncements about the benefits of ivermectin? Have you called for Dr. Iggy Agbayani, who is very admirable in insisting on his findings that ivermectin has very good benefits at a very affordable price? Talaga bang tayo ba'y naiipit na lamang sa mamahaling gamot? Are we committed to all of these expensive medicines forever and ever, while our people are dying of inutility of some people in government?